How do we as a society decide if it's okay for a bird to be in a building?
Okay.
There are rooms that you're in. Mm-hmm. Say this studio, for example, is a very small room. If a bird's in here, fucking shut it down. No more podcasting.
Evacuate.
Call an adult.
Hold on. What kind of bird? If there was a parrot in there, there's more context. I'm not saying you, Justin McElroy, would love it, but I'm saying there would be more context than just like you look over and there's like a turkey vulture.
I don't know what that has to do with the price of gas, Trav, because what I'm saying is... flip side of that, if you're in, we don't have them around here, but I assume IKEAs are very big, yes? They're very large. If there's a bird flying around in IKEA, you're kind of like, oh, it'd be weird if there wasn't a bird flying around in IKEA.
In the warehouse, not in the showroom, it would be rough in the showroom.
Would that be rough in the showroom?
I think of it as balloon in the rafter rules,
okay.
Which is as you gauge how big a pain in the ass it would be to get it down versus like that balloon's just a fixture now.
That's true. There's
right?
probably a financial like work hour assessment that like that would take 2 people half a day.
When I worked at PetSmart, it was just accepted that there were going to be birds in the rafters because we had a whole aisle filled with bird food, and birds do not get that needs to be bought to be consumed. So birds are just like, oh, sick, man, I found a great spot to live.
Yeah, do you think birds come into town and they're like, do you guys know of any cool places to live? And one guy's like, yeah, I got one.
It's amazing, man.
It's an amazing place, man. They do have giant wolves.
That part sucks. I think there's a square footage threshold that once you cross it, the distinction between inside and outside at that point is negligible at best. I think the second consideration that kind of has to build on the first one is it bad that the bird is there? Like hospitals are big, but that's a bad place for a bird to be.
Yeah, they would probably be frown on that.
We're kind of doing the most important human stuff in here. We kind of don't want you guys to see this part. It's embarrassing.
I say once again, though, context is different. You can't just say all birds. Because if I'm in a hospital room and a pigeon walks in, I'm like, that's gross. If I'm in a hospital room and a penguin waddles in, listen, it's weird.
Okay, now fuck off. You can't pick the one bird that is basically a little dude.
The one bird that the moment they walk into any room, everyone is like, there he is.
Like, it would be weird because how did that penguin get to, let alone in the hospital?
Nobody cares.
My thing is going to be like, oh, ho, ho. Hello.
Yeah,
hello there, gentlemen.
Penguins aren't fair. Penguins are like if there was a flying dog. Just there's one type of dog that can fly. We're still going to call it a dog, though, even though it has wings and can't fly.
I love them. If a penguin walked in right now, this whole podcast grinds to a halt.
That's it.
That's not, but for Travis, that is a low bar. I mean, there's a lot of things that would grind podcasts to a halt if they waddled into Travis's room.